Right guys, this is Swiftdeath. I'm with my friend today. He is Kev.
Yo.
He's going to be showing you his Lightsworn deck. It's been doing pretty well actually in general. Looking forward to the next format, looking forward to the new stuff coming. He's going to have a quick chat with you through the deck and I'll ask some questions the way through. So we'll just go through it real quick. So Kev, it's over to you. What you got?
So main Lightsworn core, we've got one Raiko. I only run the one because I don't think it's as good anymore because there's so many cards that do pop face down cards, and a lot of the time people expect the face down card in the Lightsworn deck to be the Raiko. So I find that putting a face down Necro Gardener or Card Trooper normally helps because they assume it's the Raiko. But I only run the one because I don't think it's as effective. Obvious cards are obvious. The free Lumina.
Yep.
Have to run them to get all your spamming going, ready for all your XC summoning or getting those monsters. Then the 2 Wolf. I run Wolf now because I feel that when you get the free level 4 beat stick, it's really good and it combos well with this. So you can pop your back row, then go into Starliege Paladynamo from the extra. But this will be going when the new stuff comes out, when the new archers available. These are going to be going out for her because she, in my eyes, is predominantly better. As this guy doesn't actually mill anything and he's just a special summon. Only problem is when you get him in hand, which I tend to do a lot, but that's what the recharges are for. Triple Lila, because Triple Lila is free MSTs, and it gives you the mills at the end. All in all, a good card, and 1700 attack isn't that bad. But sometimes it's good to just play first turn Lila, let the free go. Jane, only run one of him or her. I'm not sure whether it's a he or a she. 2-1 beat stick gets over things like Thunder King, which sometimes do try to shut down the deck, and it mills. 1 Garoth just for the combo plays with Lumina, which tend to work really well, getting your extra cards from the draws. 1 Aaron. I really like Aaron just because she gets over a lot of things. She gets over the face down battles recruiters like Zombie, what's his face, Pyramid Turtle. Also gets around Zen mains, which is when I used to run Chaos Dragons. I always used to run 2 of these because Zen mains at that point was really good, and I feel that she's a good card to have for that reason. And she mills for at the end. 1 Tekken I have is the Celestia. I like Celestia just because she forces your opponent to Veiler because of the milling before and the destruction of 2 cards.
Do you find her a bit dead though sometimes or not?
Not really, no. Half the time when I've got her, I have the solar recharge in hand, so I get rid of her. But when she's milled as well, she's a free light. And it also means that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Lightsworn targets. Just makes getting the big boss man out that bit easier, and the big boss man, who everyone knows, is JD. Don't really need to say anything about him, everyone knows what he's like.
He's really annoying, yeah.
Yeah, and can't wait till this guy comes out because it's going to make him predominantly better. It's nothing like using his effect advantage than summoning the JD, paying 1,000 life points, destruct him, and then just get all your Lightsworns back. And then the rest is 2 Card Trooper, just for that extra minin. I really like Card Trooper. I think it's a really good card. You do take extra damage after you've summoned him half the time, because he's only got that 400, but he's a free draw as well. And as I said, putting him face down and then expecting it to be a Raiko and wasting their resources to pop just a Card Trooper is really good because then you get your draws. Bacon Saver and free Necro Gardener. Loving these guys at free and loving him as well. Just for the fact he's an extra free Necro Gardener. Only downfall is you can only use him once per duel, but these guys are fun, especially when you overlay your Luminas and then play the Leviers to get back your Necro Gardeners. 1 Zephyros, because he's a dark target for the Chaos Engine. Also he's a free summon, you can then use him to go into Diamond Direwolf or anything like that. Also with Plague as well, you can go into your 6s. I've got 1 Plague at the moment, but he's going to be going to free as soon as I get 2 more. I like him and I prefer him to Tour Guide. I did run Tour Guide, but the only problem with Tour Guide is I've got Luminas to get the rank 3s, and Tour Guide half the time didn't really work out and I'd end up midding her, and he's a lot more useful in the graveyard than what I found Tour Guide was. 1 Thunder King. Didn't originally play him, but I was told to by certain people.
By certain me, yeah.
Yeah, it really does work because number 1, he's a light and he stops Boujins and things going off.
Tell them what happened at the weekend with spellbooks.
Oh yeah, this guy put in hard work. Him and Necro Gardeners put in hard work against spellbooks, which I tend to normally have a bit of a problem with. I don't know if it's luck or anything with them, but spellbooks, when they seem to go off and cause me trouble. But I like this guy. 1900 beat stick, and for obvious effects, he needs to come back to 2. Honest, because it's a light deck, you have to run honest. 2 Veiler. I was originally having these in the side, but then again I was told to run them again, and they have turned out to be pretty useful for those reasons. Veiler's Veiler, it stops effects going off, and it's a tuner, and it's a light. 1 Trag, did run Gauze, but with the extra spin and trap cards I now use, I tend to find that Gauze became a dead card. This guy I find a lot more useful as well, because...
Would you tempted to go up to 2 or not?
I would be tempted to go up to 2. But at the moment I'm happy with the 1. I just like him because he's can end up being a beat stick, and he can change level, so a lot of my monsters are 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. You've got the 5, and you've got some others which can help me take control of other people's cards. BLS, because BLS is BLS. Don't need to explain about him. Happy this guy came to 2, because then it allows me more access to this guy. And extra darks. And that's it for the monsters. And now the spell and traps. 1 charge. I miss the days when this was at 3. I really do. But charge. It's a good card. Hardly ever open with it though. But there's nothing as good as opening charge on one of these. The free recharge. Don't like them in super. I miss my ultis, but they're on their way. But these guys help out with the drawing. Dark Hole, because it's Dark Hole. 2 Beckoning Light, to get my lights back, and then...
You've won games with that card,
yeah,
actually,
that card's
so
won
much.
games. And these, just because I don't really care if I mill them, I can use next
How
turn.
are you finding them with Vader as well as Breakthrough?
I like it. I may take 1 Breakthrough out with the Vaders in when the new stuff comes. I mean, Breakthroughs may go, or I may go 1 Vader, 1 Breakthrough, depending on how the format turns out. At the moment, these do a lot of good though, because if I set them half the time they expect it to be the Beckoning Light, they go to use it. Or if I'm doing the mirror, as I've come across with zombie swarms, it's good to use in case Lila tries to go off. And that's it for the main deck. I think I'm at 40 for the main. I don't like keeping it too big because I feel it gets inconsistent. Now with my extra, 1 Zen mains, 1 Leviair. As I said before, I like using Leviair to get back my Necro Gardeners, giving me that extra.
Isn't Leviair hard to get now you've had 2 tour guides out?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, Luminers, I'm quite fortunate that I tend to have them handy at the time. But obviously Leviair is also good for getting Plague back as well, to start those plays. Diamond Direwolf, love this card, love it in secret, hate it in super, should never come out in super, makes me feel sick, makes me want to cry, makes me want to kill people. But this card, I just love it. Also, it can be used to pop Wolves and Raikou, so I don't necessarily have to suicide. But Diamond Direwolf is just a good out to a lot of things, and it's easily accessible. Chain, which I originally forgot I used to run this in my old Lightsworn build. But this card's good just for the fact I can, if I know I'm in trouble, I can send an Necro Gardener to grave or send a wolf and then go off for the next couple of turns. But yeah, he's good for many reasons, and also putting that JD on top of my deck if I need it. This guy, who I think is one of the best cards in the game, absolutely love this guy. 2 4s, 2 lights. The fact that he negates their effect and puts them down to 0 attack, I think is really, really good. Overrated card. Not many people, I think, have picked up on how good he is, but I love him. That's why I run 2. And this guy, just in case I'm scared to go crazy with my mills with the JD, half the time I tend to drop double JD, because I'm lucky like that and JD likes me. But this guy's just that little bit of an out, so I don't end up milling 8 at the end and losing all my good cards. Also, I think Felbrand's a really good card, because I can send 2 JD, use them as XYZ units, and then summon another JD, activate his effect, doesn't get affected, and he's there on the field. But I like this card. I think it's really, really good. Armades, who I absolutely adore. Think it's the best rank, level 5 out at the moment. Only thing it doesn't get over is Necro Gardeners, because obviously Necro Gardener, I can use it if I was facing Armades to just banish in the main phase. But this guy I think is really, really good. Gets over a lot of things in case you're facing those rogue decks and people running Blue Eyes Maiden. Gets over stuff like that, gets over the Battle Recruiters, stops Battle Vader, stops Swift Scarecrow. Really, really good card. My favourite go-to card of recent months. Since he came out, I've been using him quite a lot. Catastor, because Catastor is Catastor again, dark, destroys lights. A lot of cards nowadays. You've got the Bouge, you've got everything which isn't dark. The only thing it doesn't seem to work against is Ghost Tricks or zombies, which I haven't faced as much of. But I mean, at our locals we have a lot of Fire Fist, Bouge, Constellar, things like that. So this guy helps you get over a few things. This used to be in my build Orient Dragon, but I just think this card is really, really good. Orient Dragon does get rid of synchros, but I just think this card, it forces your opponent to sort of use their resources because they don't want to have their really big monsters banished. But I really, really like this card. Black Rose, pretty. Black Rose, for obvious reasons, it blows up the field and then gives you free space. Crimson Blader, because Blader is a really good card. It can obviously stop your opponent special or normal summoning those level 5 or higher, which is really, really good. Although it does tend to not work when you come across builds like Ghost Tricks and people who don't run anything higher than 5. But I really, really like that card. Scrap Dragon. I've always liked Scrap Dragon. I think it's a really, 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 really resourceful card. Helps me pop those cards that I need. I tend to also go a lot on using and managing to get this guy out and then summoning, activating his effect. If his effect gets negated or if he does go through, that's really good. Summon this guy next, then pop him. I get the free draw off the start.
You get free draw Paladin, which is always quite good.
So this guy combo with him, it also helps me put those Necro Gardeners in the grave if I need to. I could just summon a Necro Gardener, use it as the bait when it's dead in hand. This guy is a bit, I like him because I have got a lot of warriors available in this deck. I mean, some people run.
Before we started, I said, well, you are in this, and
yeah,
it's got loads of targets, basically.
But yeah, I think it's good because I've got the BLS, which is a warrior. You've got the Necro Gardeners, if I haven't banished them, which are warriors. Jane, Garoth, Aaron. And then there's the Paladynamos in the extras as well.
And Crimson Blader, don't forget to wear it too.
Yes, Crimson Blader and Felbrand. So yeah, there's even more than what I first thought. And I think this card's really good because when he gets destroyed you can just be summoned back if needs be. So it stops those cards running you over. And then my last extra deck card is Stardust Dragon because if you can get to 8s you have to run Stardust.
Would you run Stardust Spark if you had it? Because it's not legal in Europe at the moment.
If I had it I probably would. The new build's going to be interesting because it's going to be mostly 6, 7 and 8 synchros that I can spam. I'm going to bring in Star Eater as well when the new stuff comes out because 2 Lumina and either Ferrist or Raiden, this guy, allows me to go into Star Eater.
What changes will you make for the January format then?
January format, keep this. These guys may get rid of Diamond Direwolf, I'm not too sure. This guy will stay. I might get rid of this because I think now the dragons are going to be dead and gone. I think he's going to become less useful. I have to keep this guy in. Probably drop down to one of these for the extra. And I may get rid of him. Although Raiden will then add to the fire and help with him. But in my actual deck, this guy's going to go up to 3. I may get rid of this. I was tempted to get rid of the Chaos Engine and just run pure Lightsworns. And I was going to run him and Michael and the Ferris. So, but I'll probably end up putting in the Dragon as well, this guy, Dragonif, when the new stuff comes out.
You don't run Garen, it's worth it.
No, I'm not too keen on him. I prefer Celestia as a card. He's good that he can get the extra attack boost, but I think when she comes out, when Minerva comes out and being able to search him, I think he will be more useful than he is now. But Wolf will be going for the archers. But yeah, the new build, when I do it, is going to be mostly Lightsworn, so a lot of the Chaos Engine is going to be going. I may even just drop down to 1 Plague Spreader, or when Konami realise what they've done and realise they're bringing Plague back to 3 is stupid, and they drop them back down to 1 or 2. I will drop them, but as it stands, there's only going to be a few more changes to that, and that is my Lightsworns.
Yep, alright Kev, cheers for that.
That's no problem.
That's Kev's Lightsworns, guys. I'll bring you Vampire list and I'll try and bring you my friend's Harpy list at some point. So yep, cheers to Swiftdeath out.